Hello my fellow collectioneers. Welcome back to the Collectioneers Club. If you're new, welcome. I'm so glad that you joined us for this tag today. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. So first and foremost, I want to give a huge thanks to Miss Cherry of Miss Cherry's channel, and I'll link her up above. She came up with this wonderful tag entitled "Look at This Stuff, Isn't It Neat?" to explore people's collections a little bit closer and have you address many different categories and pick your favorites among your items that are in your collection. And I also want to give a huge shout out and thanks to the beautiful Sariea over at Dream It DIY. She was so kind and tagged me for this, and thanks Sariea for thinking of me. I really appreciate it. So without further ado, let's get into the tag. Okay, so regarding the first question, it's what is your favorite Mickey Mouse item in your collection? And I'm gonna go to a sentimental favorite. This little guy is My Pal Mickey. They sold him back in the parks in I think early 2000s to mid 2000s. And he just went everywhere with you in the parks. Back in those days, we didn't have the old fancy cues that gave you all little activities to do. So My Pal Mickey was your pal. He told you stories, played trivia games with you, and just said all these different phrases. I think he had like hundreds of phrases that he was able to say. And he was a lot of fun to take with you around the parks. They used to have interactive things where if you walked past a certain attraction or whatever, he would kind of interact with that. And he was just a lot of fun. And he has different outfits. And we got two of them. We got the pirate one and the Sorcerer Mickey one. And you know, to this day, I still kind of peruse eBay from time to time because there are a few outfits that we missed out on, and you know, the guy needs his wardrobe. So, and speaking of which, I have to show you his two outfits because that's what you do when you have a wardrobe. So stay tuned for that. And so here he is as one of the most adorable pirates that you will ever lay your eyes on. Got a sword, pirate boots, hat, jacket, and shorts that have a little hole for your tail. Gotta have that. And so here he is dressed up as Sorcerer Mickey, and equally as adorable, I think.
Oh boy, are we gonna have fun today? Are you ready? Well, then let's go!
Any more questions about why he's my favorite Mickey? Question number 2. What is your favorite Disney art print? And so this is one of my favorite art prints that I own. This is a Zootopia print, and I know very little about the artist. I know that his first name is Jamie, and I'm not sure if his last name is Prentice. His Etsy shop is Art by L. Prentice, and of course I'll link it down below. I checked today, he still has some art prints that are listed in his shop, and he just does, you know, random different prints. And I know I've got 2 of them from him. I collect Trick or Treat, the Donald Duck short from '52 as well. And I forget which one at that moment was not listed in his shop, and he was able to list it for me. So if you see something in his shop that you like, he might be able to list it for you. Just need to check with him. Really nice guy to deal with. So just to kind of give you a little closer look here, you've got Bellwether and Judy and the Bunny Burrow sign, and of course Nick with his popsicle. And it's neat because her clothing is half Bunny Burrow, half police officer uniform, so I thought that was pretty cool. And then Mr. Manges, and like I said, it's kind of a Art Nouveau kind of comic book, so you've got 15 cents and Zootopia, and then all of the characters are listed up above. I just love his style. I love the colors that he uses, and it's the same with the Trick or Treat print as well. Just really vivid colors, and I just love it. So that's my favorite art print that I have right now. Okay, so question number 3 is, what is your favorite princess item? And I've mentioned a few times before, I am an Aurora Sleeping Beauty collector, and I've got so many things that I adore from that movie and her in particular, but I had a hard time selecting which one it was my current favorite or later favorite. So I had to go back to where it all started, and for me, that's this gal. I got her from the Contemporary gift shop in 1978. So I'm aging myself quite a bit, but I had one previous trip to Disney World that I did not remember, but the one in 78 I remembered very vividly, and I remember going and picking her out in the gift shop in the Contemporary, and I just loved her, and I still do. She's still in great shape, and of course she's in her Briar Rose dress. And the funny thing is, after all these years, I'm a stickler for her eyes being the right color, which are purple, and hers are brown. So I don't know. What was going on back then, but she's got lovely wing tips, as you notice on her eyes, so those are cool. But at any rate, she's the one that started it all, so I had to pick her as my fave. She's the OG. Okay, so going on to question number 4, your favorite plush item. And this is something that I just got here recently, and I am absolutely in love with this plush. So she has risen to the top in lightning speed. So it is this Halloween cookie. I thought I loved Cookie as much as you could love a plush dog, but when I saw her in her Halloween outfit, oh my goodness, it was just perfection layered on perfection for me. I love purple. It's my favorite color. She's gorgeous with her little green eyes, and you know, the whole steampunk thing in some of their merchandise this year, you know, it's kind of hit and miss. Some of the pins were kind of a little creepy and some were cute, but I think it really works on her outfit with the little gears and her bow and just little details. And of course she's got her little hidden Mickey on her shoes, and I just absolutely adore her. So right now she is my favorite plush. Question number 5, your favorite pair of ears. I mean, could the questions get any harder? Seriously. It's hard to pick one, but I did. So hands down, my favorite small ear shop is the Three Little Tinkers. I adore them. And this is one of the custom ears that I was able to work with Jamie on. And I picked them specifically, even though I love all of my Tinker ears, because you just don't find a whole lot for this movie and these characters. And it's The Legend of Sleepy Hollow, which is one of my absolute favorite shorts or animated movies of Disney. I mean, I have so many favorites, as we all do, but this movie literally takes over the month of October for me. I could watch it time and time again, never get tired of it. I love Bing Crosby, and I just love this short. So you've got Ichabod, of course, and the Headless Horseman, and what a gorgeous shade of purple she chose. My favorite color, my favorite short, it's perfection. And on the back here, she just went simple with some really spooky branches, and I love them. One of the many pairs of ears from the Tinkers that I absolutely love. So you'll be seeing more later in the tag. Fair warning. Okay, question number 6, your favorite free souvenir from Disney. And I'm gonna cheat a little. I got the button for free, but I had the Christmas ornament shop ladies write on it for me, so that was for a minimal fee, but hopefully you'll understand why that I had to include it. So here is my I'm Celebrating button, and like I said, you can have the Christmas ornament shop personalize it for you, like they do the ornaments and the frames and that sort of thing. And I did that, and I believe it was for a minimal fee of maybe like $6. and I had them write the Collectionears Club on there. And this was when I was there in June, and that's when I had decided on the channel name and that I was going to try to pursue this dream of mine of making YouTube videos. And so it means a lot to me because it just reminds me that you can do something if you set your mind to it. I have been too afraid to make videos for so long, and to finally be able to do it is just, like I said, a dream come true, and I'm just proud that I'm finally doing it. So this guy is always going to mean a lot to me. Okay, going on to question number 7, your favorite attraction item. And I am gonna name this little guy as my favorite. I believe it was created for the monorail toy train setup that you can get at the parks, and some elements you can still get. I know you can get a couple of the monorails and the tracks, of course, and all that. I don't think they still offer this. I know that, you know, they've done some hotels and some attractions along the way, and this was one of those back in the day that they did. And I just love it because I love miniatures. It's like a little dollhouse for me. The Haunted Mansion, my favorite, and I will flip it around and show you a closer view of it here shortly. But just to kind of give you a little sneak peek of why I adore it, it has little tombstones on the front, and they make sounds. So, and I'll save my favorite for last. So. Okay, and then wait for it. I love that sound. It just takes me right there. There's a spot in the Christmas shop where you can stand in the doorway and you smell the cinnamon, and you're standing there and you can hear the water sounds, and then this in the distance, and it's just perfection. I hang out in that doorway too much because I just love it so much. So this is my favorite, and I'll give you a closer view right now. Okay, so going on to category number 8, and that is your favorite pen. Again, impossible, but I was a good girl. I only chose one, but it was tough. And it's not even a licensed Disney pen. I know, scandalous, right? But I had to pick this one because if I was going to design a pen, this is the pen that I would design. I featured this in my birthday haul. If you haven't gotten a chance to check that out, I'll link it up above. But I'll give her a shout out again. It's Fantasy Pens by Madison, I believe, who did this. And I just love this so much. So here we go again. I'm sorry for you guys that might have seen it twice, but I love this pen so much. They both look gorgeous. They're both in their wedding garb, and they have this kind of stained glass element, purple behind them, which is my favorite color. So it's just, to me, it's perfection in a pen, and I just had to choose it as my favorite. Love this. Okay, so going on to question number 9. Your most, item that has the most sentimental value. And of course, I'm like a lot of you guys who said, you know, photos and everything to do with your family and visiting the parks, they mean the world. They really do. But to think that I'd have to choose one out of all of them, I just couldn't do it. So I went for another sentimental favorite of mine, and that is this little guy. This is Pooh, of course. And back when my son was born, in the late 90s, you could get, this is kind of like a Teddy Graham, you know, not the ones that you eat now, but back then you could do a kind of poo gram. You know, if somebody had a birthday or holiday or obviously a birth, but any holiday that you could think of, you could send a Pooh Bear to the person to celebrate with them. And actually I have one for Mother's Day as well. I keep him with my kind of springtime decor when I take it out, and I put him out for Mother's Day every year, so I just adore that one too. But this one, he's my sentimental guy, obviously. He has my son's name, Jack, and the date that he was born. I kind of covered that up. He's a bit of a private guy, so I wanted to respect that. But he's got his little blue uniform on with little bumblebee on his hat and little tie. And then how adorable is this? He's got a little mailbag. It's a boy. And then of course, if you got a girl, you got the whole pink, you know, get up, and it's a girl on the bag. But I had a boy, so I got the blue one, and I love him. He sits on my shelf to this day, and I look over at him and just smile, because you're just a memory of a great thing that happened in my life, and I'm so grateful for it. So question number 10 is a favorite Sidekick item, and I don't know if I'm cheating on this or not, but I figure Mr. Duffy could qualify as Mickey's sidekick. Because of the origin story and that sort of thing. So I picked him. I wanted to feature him. I just figured out, I think that in this tag I'm pretty much going to be plushies and ears for the most part. So I've got a pattern going. So here's my Duffy, and I love him. He's so soft and cuddly. And I've got a t-shirt that I just loved. It's got the Mickey hand, and then all the balloons kind of patterned after all the Fab Five, and I believe Daisy is on there too, yeah. And this was, I believe, the 30th celebration of Tokyo Disneyland. I'm not sure, but I believe that's where I got that. And I got a custom lanyard made. I think this is Lindsay that does custom lanyards. She does a wonderful job for human-sized ones too. So of course I will link her down below in case you want to check out her beautiful lanyards that she makes. But I've outfitted him with this, and he's got all of the little miniature pins of him around the world. From World Showcase, but I thought that was so cute because I had gotten a little kind of toy charm with a suitcase and all these little location stickers on it, like he's a little world traveler, and so it just fit really well with all the little around the world pins. He sits next to the Pooh that has Jack's birth on it. He sits next to him, and they both just make me smile. So of course I had to get him in this tag somewhere, because him and his buddy, they go hand in hand. Okay, so question number 11 is your favorite piece of Disney apparel, and I am going to have to choose Miss Yzma. Excuse the wrinkles. I just love this movie, love this character, love her in her kitty form. How much perfection can go into one shirt? Okay, question number 12. Now, before I get into my picks, I want to do a disclaimer that the Collectionears Club is a non-hate zone, so don't come for me. We all love what we love, right? And it's okay, everybody has different loves. Anywho, it's your favorite Star Wars or Marvel item. Now, I love both, so I took that as I could feature one from each. My favorite Star Wars and my favorite Marvel item, and that's probably cheating, and if so, I'm sorry, but I love both. How can I choose one over the other? So going on to my Star Wars favorite, this is where I hope that I don't get any hate, but I'm a Reylo shipper. And for those of you who might not be aware of Reylo and what that is, the most current episodes feature Kylo Ren and Rey of Jakku. And Kylo Ren is the quote-unquote bad guy, and Rey is, of course, the heroine of the trilogy. Well, some of us, including myself, ship the two of them. I know that seems like blasphemy, but hopefully after episode 9 comes out, everything will be clarified. Everybody will have a happily ever after, and that'll be that. But right now, the Star Wars community is divided, and I respect that. But moving on to the tag. This is my favorite Star Wars item. And once again, shout out to my Tinkers. Whoop whoop. I love them so much. This is yet another pair of ears that I was so grateful to work with them on. My Reylo ears. And this is a scene from The Last Jedi in which the two of them are talking via the Force bond they have through the Force. And Kylo with his silhouette and his lightsaber says, "You're not alone." And then you've got Rey with her silhouette and her lightsaber, and she says, "Neither are you." And right here, I love it. And they even did the colors on the bow with the red on his side and the blue on hers. And then shortly thereafter, they touch hands, and so this is very poetic, just the two hands reaching out to one another. And I love them. So this is my favorite Star Wars item that I have right now. I have to include this as my favorite Marvel item for this question. I was just at Box Lunch recently, and I was checking out, and I was looking at the pops they had behind the cashier, and time stood still, and I was like, "Is that a Baby Groot Christmas Funko?" And they were like, "Yes." And I was like, "Bag it up, please," because I adore Baby Groot. And Funko came out with a Christmas Baby Groot. So here he is. He's just delightful, and he's cute, and I am in love with him. So I'm very glad to add him to my collection, and he has quickly become a favorite. I mean, he's in a little green pot with a red bow and lights around him. I'm done. Okay, going on to lucky question number 13, your favorite villain item. You guessed it, it's a pair of 3 little Tinker ears. Yzma in her kitty form is just to die for. I just absolutely adore her, and this was once again a custom that I was so grateful to create with the 3 little Tinkers. Kuzco on the right, Yzma in her kitty form on the left, and then Kuzco's headpiece, and then the poison to turn Kuzco into a llama on the other side. So love them. I don't know what else to say, but I love them. Moving on to number 14, perfect Disney park outfit. Now, I love you guys, and for those of you who can Disney bound and look cute in all these different creative outfits that you come up with, and the little coordinating purses and ears and whatnot, I adore seeing you in the parks, and I admire you, and I think you're great. I'm not going to be one of you. Unfortunately, I am not cute when I'm in the parks. I'm not saying that I'm cute regularly, but I'm saying in the parks, I'm a hot mess. I can't imagine putting heels and a dress and everything. My face is well, it's as red as this, and I'm sweating, and I'm not gonna be there with you guys. But like I said, I'm there in spirit. I think it's fantastic. If I were to choose an outfit, it would be, of course, my capri jeans or whatever I have on that day, and my Yzma Kitty shirt, and my Yzma Kitty ears. I'm coordinated. That's great. So, hey, maybe I could put a Emperor's New Groove purse with it. I don't know, but that's about as creative as I'm gonna get for my outfit. So I wish I could be more with you other than in spirit, but I am there in spirit. and I think you look great. Okay, so moving on to your favorite souvenir from a specialty event, I'm gonna have to go a little bit old school and give my little guy Zero a shout out. Were you from 2016, maybe? I should have looked that up. But Zero has been the popcorn bucket for the Halloween party in the last couple of years, and I love Zero. He's in his little dog house and his little nose is blinking, and I think he's adorable. And popcorn buckets in general are great items, but my little Zero is one of my faves. Okay, and so we're finally on to the last question. I have to give a shout out to the sweet Megan over at Mickey's Magic. I just watched her tag in the last few days, and she chose the same exact thing that I was planning on choosing for my favorite item in my collection, because like she said so eloquently, this item in my collection means so much to me that it had to be my favorite, and that is my annual pass. I don't get a chance to be an annual pass holder every year. This is a year in which I was able to do so, and I feel so blessed to be able to have this in my collection currently. It's so nice to have it so that if you do get a chance to go down to the parks, you're able to get into them and have some fun. And it's a privilege, it really is. So I'm beyond grateful to have it in my collection, and it has to be my favorite whenever I have a chance to own one of these. So that is going to wrap it up for my Look at This Stuff, Isn't It Neat tag. I hope that you enjoyed it, and please leave me a comment down below. Let me know, what do you collect, and if you haven't done the tag, let me know just in the written comments. What do you collect? What are some of your favorites? I would love to hear more from you down there. So if you did like the tag, if you wouldn't mind giving me a thumbs up and subscribe for future content, I would greatly appreciate having you with us here at the Collectionears Club. And until next time, thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you then. Bye-bye.